Deep in the ocean, an orca pod is on the hunt. But these aren't your average orcas. These guys are organized.
Marketing team, did you get those social media posts scheduled for the SEAL migration?
Aye, Captain. We even have an automated notification for all pod managers when they go live.
They use Monday.com to keep their teamwork sharp, their communication clear, and their goals in sight. Monday.com. For whatever you run, even orcas. Go to Monday.com to dive deeper.
Well, I don't see the point in waiting any longer. So let's bring her out. The star attraction, the one you came to see. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Miss Judy Gold.
All right, so after Leno, you're fucking, that's it.
Now we're starting to do all the TV shows. Now that, the album's coming out, now we're starting to create a tour where it went from, the first time was theaters and then it went to arenas. And obviously you fast forward even more, you go from the arenas and all of a sudden now we're doing stadiums. And it's like, what the hell?
Were you like...
What is going on here?
But were you all like, can you fucking believe it? Or was
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. I looked at each other every day going, what the fuck are we doing? Like the biggest one we ever did was Rock in Rio. Rock in Rio we did, which was, I don't even know how many people. It literally was a sea and it never stopped. It probably had to be about a good, I think it might have been 500,000 or something like that. It was something.
No fucking way.
It just goes on and they have monitors that are further down. And I think every week for the night they have different genres. So like one night was like Guns N' Roses and like Anthrax and a couple people. Then ours was, it was the group Five, then it was Britney and it was us. And we would close it.
Okay. Could you go out to the store or?
No. Any of that shit. I'm glad I am in the position that I am now because I can wipe my own ass without nobody standing by the door.
Right.
We had a security. Each guy had a security guard. We could not go when we were traveling. There were times that we had to make sure we called everybody to go, okay, we're in a city. Obviously, we like to get the hell out. Who's going to the mall? You going to the mall or somebody else? Because if we went together, it would be a zoo. Because the minute somebody would make a phone call, everybody would be at the mall.
Right.
So they'd know that we were in town. And it was one of those times where we couldn't go anywhere. I couldn't go anywhere.
All right. So this is the dark side. Don't you think a little bit or...
It's so weird to try to describe it, just the whole thing, just everything of how it was just like a snowball effect. And it just went from the smallest thing, it was cool. Like, I remember it's like one of those things you have flashbacks of like, again, when I did the theaters, I remember the first time, this is before Christopher Reeve passed away. He came with his wife and his kid to come see the show. Right. I'm a huge Superman fan. So I was what the fuck? Then you fast forward to, doing Trash in the Camp song with Phil Collins for the Tarzan soundtrack for Disney.
Right.
You're doing that. And then the next thing you know, you're doing performing with Lenny Kravitz in Wango Tango in California. And then you start doing, that's another one. Then you start doing Aerosmith, Steven Tyler, to where you start performing with him during Super Bowl. And it's all these things. And then all of a sudden you start to really get into like, it's not like, again, it always surprises me, like the people that I worked with and the people that I do work with. It's always like, oh shit, I get to work, oh shit, But it's always that thing of like, this is pretty freaking cool. I get to live my life. And then it's odd now that I'm now the older one and the new kids are coming in and going, I loved you and, this and this and that. And I was even saying when we did a performance with Justin for MTV. When we came back, we did this MTV performance. And I went backstage and as I'm walking by, I see Drake. Never met Drake before in my life. And I'm like, hey, Drake, I just want to say what's up. Really nice to meet you. He stopped with his whole freaking entourage and was like, yo, bro, pleasure's all mine. He goes, I've seen you in Rent. I've seen you in Little Shop of Horrors. I said, I love you in the shows. It was great. And I was like, really?
Isn't that unbelievable? I know. I get that from comics and sometimes.
It's crazy.
Like, oh, I love that. But
and it trickles. Like I said, going from there and then finding your identity, you move forward, just kind of going through the timeline where, you pinch yourself and go, is this freaking for real? Like how, for instance, for me, what I did and how I broke through for the film for My Big Fat Greek Wedding is Tom Hanks has a company called Playtone Productions. Playtone is his company. Him and a guy named Gary Getzman, they own it. They wanted to do a movie for Help. They wanted to do kind of a Beatles Help kind of thing.
Right.
And wasn't able to do that. We couldn't agree upon a script. We had a meeting with Tom and Gary, couldn't agree upon anything. But one day I went to the office just to say, hey, how's it going? I wanted to say hi to Gary. And Wendy, this woman who works with Lance, she's like, hey, I got an idea. She goes, what? She goes, you know, you're saying hi. I go, but there's an audition. They're auditioning right now, casting for a movie called My Big Fat Greek Wedding. It's an independent film. It's not a lot of money. She goes, but you're shooting, you're doing your album, right, with NSYNC? I go, yeah. He goes, but this would be perfect because you only have to work maybe a week or two. And I was like, okay, where's the audition? She goes, it's right now. Here's the sides. Go in and do it. I was like, okay.
No way.
So I went in.
That's how you got it? You're fucking, you have an angel. There's something. What the fuck?
I read the freaking script, and I've acted, of course, in high school and before. Right. And I've always wanted to get back into it. So the casting lady was there with the writer, Nia Vardalos. So we go in. I go in there. You know, Nia knew who I was in the sense of that. The other woman's like, okay, who's this piece of shit boy band? They're going to try to act.
Right.
I audition. I leave. I get a call to go, and I do it. I go to Toronto. I have a dialogue coach that I let coach to kind of do a little bit more of a Chicago accent. And I remember this like vividly, just little slips in here.
Right.
I'm learning the lines. Haven't seen anybody yet because I flew in. I've gotten costume, wardrobe, boom. I go on set. Joel Zwick, who's the director, who was one of the original directors of Bosom Buddies with Tom Hanks. He was the original director. And he literally went like this. Here's your mother. Here's your father. There's your sister. There's your cousin. That's your other cousin. And that's your mom. You ready? We're good? Good. And I'm like, fuck, my mom's Andrea Martin. That's pretty badass. Okay, this Lady Kazan, Michael Constantine. And I'm just like, look at all these freaking people. I'm like, this is freaking awesome.
Yeah, right?
And it's literally like, go and act. And you're like, okay. And the first scene that I did was the same first scene when I come in and sit down in the restaurant. That was the first scene that I met, which was really cool. And again, you fast forward to all these different things that kind of opened up my career and really kind of set aside. I think really Dancing with the Stars was one of the ones that really set me apart because it showed my personality and not just
right. And a lot of people, you've said that you would be out with the guys and all, they'd be like, oh, you're so hot. Oh, I love your eyes. And then they'd be like, my mom loves you.
It was Justin, I love you. I want to marry you. Lance, you have the prettiest eyes. JC, you have the greatest voice. Chris, you're so crazy. Joey, my mom loves you. I want you to cook you dinner.
Oh, God. So, all right. So as far as, you have really the perfect storm because you have MTV, which is like, you have TRL, you've got everyone's pushing you, and you guys are still remaining close, correct? And now Lance is gay, as we all know, but he had been dating
What?
Oh, I'm sorry. Can we get check, please? So, So Lance, do you have any idea? I mean, I think about him. He grew up in Mississippi.
He didn't say shit. He has another buddy of his. I think that was, I don't know if he came out or not yet, but he should. The gaydar is on the freaking is screaming. But he never told anybody, and he always had girls hanging around and stuff. And I'm always kind of like, we always assumed, but we never said or asked.
Right.
But for me, I was the first one to actually find out. I was at his, we went out one night, and then we went back to his house with a bunch of people hanging out, partying. Of course, I got hammered. This is years ago.
Right.
I passed out in his guest bedroom, and it was like 3:00 in the morning. I woke up, and I'm like, oh, I got to leave. So I get up. I go to his room. I go knock on his door. He's not there. I go in his backyard. I don't see him. I go in the other guest bedroom. I don't see him. What the hell is this guy? I go in his office, and I go open up the door. When I open up the door, there's a dude sitting on his lap, straddled. Not naked, thank God, but he was just straddled. And I went, I opened up the door, and I literally was like, I'm going to leave, but let me know when you're done or just text me later. And as I start to close the door, he's like, no, nothing's happening. He's like, come in. He's like, surprise. And I went, your mom's going to kill you. I said, that's all I told him. I said, your mom is going to she's going to lose her shit. I'm just going to let you know. She's going to lose her shit. And he's like, hey, he's like, don't tell anybody. I said, dude, I'm not saying shit to nobody. Right. I said, that's your time whenever you're ready and you want to tell people. I ain't saying shit. Yeah, I ain't saying shit, bro. I said, your secret's with me.
Right.
So, when his time was right, the time was right. And I've had at times where back in the day on tour, there was a few times, I've had some guys be like, hey, I'm going to Lance's room. And I'm like, people are like, oh, yeah, right, and blow it off. I'm like, shut the hell up, bro. Shh.
Right.
Keep it on the DL for now.
I love you for that.
It was one of those things where, you stick up for your boy.
Was there any competition between you guys, or was it just like five brother? Like, what was it?
We were all brothers. I mean, the funny part about it is we we took turns because it was five of us, and so 2 people would share a room. This is back when we couldn't afford it.
Right.
Again, we're winding back. It was like usually sometimes it was me and Lance, it was me and Chris, or me and JC, or me and it rotated. And one person was able to get the room by themselves. They had the room. That's what it was nice. So 2 people roomed in each room. So it was 2 and 4, and then the one single guy got to get it. And we alternate, which was great. But obviously, as we got older, it was great. But me, we could have had single tour buses. Each of us could have had one if we really wanted to. But it was Chris, Justin, and JC on one bus. And it was me, Lance, and actually my brother who was with me. He got a little bit of a perk because he was my brother. When you're saying, but he was a video director at the time. So every time he left, he came with us. And we just had a great time. I hung out a lot more with Chris and a lot more with Lance, a lot more. I still hung out with JC and I hung out with Justin as well. But for some reason, we roomed and clicked a lot easier than the other ones just because they suck. I'm kidding.
So, all right. So is Lou going everywhere with you?
In the beginning, he was in Germany. He was going with us.
Yeah.
Yes. Ring that bell. He was going everywhere at first. And then when we started hitting the States and doing other things, he obviously knew that money was coming in. He kind of did his own thing and either started a new group, which was with O-Town. And he started the Making the Band show on MTV. So he got his money, he did his stuff, and he moved on and was getting the next person to collect more money, which is the dumbest thing where he was so smart. And then he became dumb and greedy.
Right. So he was his cousin. First cousin was Art Garfunkel.
Art Garfunkel. Yep.
And so he was jelly of him.
Of course, always wanted to be in the music business, but obviously with him looking the way he did and obviously not singing a lick of any kind of good vocals, he decided to do boy bands. And he really, he was a big scam artist, amazing scam artist. Made a whole thing of blimps when he didn't even own a blimp company. He bought a blimp for Jordache to go over, which, again, great ideas. He was one of the first people to promote something on a blimp. Right. But what he did was he hired a crappy blimp to make it crash. So he only spent $10,000 to buy it, but he got about $2 or $3 million in his pocket from the insurance.
Oh, so God, what a fucking sleazebag.
And went to Florida. I didn't know this until after I saw the doc that Lance did. Lance did his doc on it. And
I want to watch that.
It really was. I knew some of the stuff, but some of the stuff I was like, oh my God. Like he painted a plane and held it on a runway and took a picture of a fake model plane taking off.
No way.
Yes. He did that shit too.
That is fucking mental.
Very.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy to see if you could save when you bundle your home and auto policies. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
How do you guys break up? And when do you realize Lou is taking all your fucking money?
Well, BMG, our guy BMG, actually, we had dinner at his house, and I know we had a conversation. He's like, I don't know what's going on. He goes, but I'm hearing things that you're not getting the money you should be getting, in an account. I'm giving these checks to Lou, and Lou is dispersing checks to you guys, but I'm hearing you're only getting maybe like $5 to $10,000 when I'm giving a check for like $5 million. And you go, sorry?
Did you say, I'm sorry.
Was that again? Yeah. For about like $4 or $5 million, kind of like, again, this is all of us being split 5 ways. This is merch. This is touring. This is us touring in Germany, a lot of this stuff.
Right.
And he said, I think you guys should kind of look into it. And he goes, I can't say anything else about it. I really don't know anything else about it. But all I know is I'm giving these checks and I'm hearing you're not getting a big enough piece of it. And I don't know what you have with him, what contract you have with him, but you should look into it. So we did. We looked into it and realized, of course, that he was like our manager, but also when we were okay with it in the beginning, of course, but didn't really know that he was doing it with every boy band that he was with. He was a 6th member as well. So he was getting paid the salary that we were getting paid. So anything we got paid, it was split 6 ways, not 5 ways. Then he was also taking
a percentage?
Yeah.
Which is illegal. That is illegal.
Now, we'll go as we go further. But he was our manager. He was a talent. He was our, whenever his lawyers looked at stuff, he would probably tack on stuff for him, I'm sure. Right. And then he became a scammer. And then he just started telling all these people because but the crazy shit was he legitimately was making actual legitimate real money. Right. If he would have been actually honest about it, he could have made a killing and done a lot better than the shit that he did. And now he died in jail. He's a schmuck. He did stupid shit where, in Orlando, he was actually telling all these people that had like retirement funds and people that really trusted him, going with me because I got Backstreet, I got NSYNC, and now I'm, sometimes representing Britney and all these other people that look at your stocks, that the money you put in, it was all bullshit. It was all fake. Right. They're all printed out fake numbers.
Scheme, yeah. Yep. Fucking fuckhead. And he was jealous of Madoff too.
Yes, I'm sure he was.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, Madoff was a fuck. I was reading about that when I was doing my little research on my little baby. Okay, so you break up. Who decides?
Well, the crazy thing of how the whole thing went down is we were on tour. We've been touring like almost 4 or 5 years or whatever, on and on, like not on and off, constantly. We never stopped. So all of us were kind of exhausted. But Lance wanted to do a break and go into space. When that happened, Justin was like, hey, I'd love to do my own music. And we were like, dude, go ahead, go for it. We supported it. We wanted everything to happen. And at that, I think the record company had more ideas than we did in a sense of going, okay, yes, we have NSYNC, which is a huge group, but what can we do? How long is this really going to go? Right. Maybe Justin might be the one to be the solo artist. So they obviously promoted the shit out of him, but JC also had an album out as well, which didn't do the greatest, I think, because of all a lot of flack and things that happened during the time, which was with the Nipplegate, which was with Janet Jackson and Justin.
Yeah.
They took just JC off of the Pro Bowl, which had nothing to do with him, which kind of sucked on that. So he got a short end of the stick. But then Justin, he came out with great music, and it was the perfect timing. And I think just when even like the UK really started noticing who we were, and a lot more of the hip hop / R&B kind of soulful music that we were doing, and it crossed over very well for him. And it made him a lot more, obviously up there. And the funny part was we even supported, like, dude, go for it. Right. I think it's great. You know what? It helps us out in the long run. Did it really help us out in the long run? Not really, because he did his own thing. Right. But it helped me out, I think, because now I became my own person. I wasn't. Right. So I'm not.
Yeah. So
I'm not just a boy bander anymore.
Right. So it sort of forced you into this new reality. But do you think you were shell shocked? Do you think were you like, wait?
It just sucked. I was upset, definitely 100% upset that we were split, but it was more or less of now I was like, well, shit, now I can do whatever I want. Let the floodgates go.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want, but it's like, but wait, I've never been in this position. What do I want to do? Yeah, but I
think I still had the balls. I still had the balls. Right. You know what I mean? So
and
I was like,
screw it. That comes from your parents. Yeah. It's so funny because people get to this and they're like, oh my God, this is all I know. I don't know how to do anything else. I can't take it. I don't know what to do. But you had love and support, and
well, it's always that. If that doesn't happen, find something else. See what else you can fall back on. So
did you get depressed, or were you? Or
no, I cried like a bitch. I cried like a bitch at first, but I mean, again, you get over it and you go, okay, now what? That kind of thing. And for me, I always wanted to do Broadway, so I reached out. Actually, my old tour manager, Dave Brown, actually knew some people that worked in theater, and he's like, "I'll get you to get in to sit in a meeting with them." I said, "Well, I really don't want a meeting." I said, "I want to audition.
I want to go on, yeah."
Well, I want to audition. So they're like, because I even said to them, I said, "I want to be honest. What makes you think I can do this? What if I can't?" Right. I said, "I need to audition." So the funniest part is I went to New York. I literally flew in for a few hours. I live in Orlando. It's a 2-hour flight. It's not that bad. I was making money. I was like, screw it. I'll buy a freaking flight.
Right.
So I flew there, auditioned for the different character, Roger, which was a lot higher in singing.
Right.
They go, you want to try? He's like, what do you want to try? I said, whatever you want me to try. What about Roger? I was like, okay. And I'm like, holy shit, I'm going to screw this up. It's too damn high. I sing it and I leave. They call me back the next day. Hey, can you come back in and read for Mark? I had to fly back in. I did the audition. And then they said, yeah, and I said, why didn't you and they even said to me, why didn't you tell us to do Mark? I said, because I didn't know what you wanted, but I thought you were going to do both, but you did Roger and that was it. Right. So I'm sorry. Got Mark, went and did the audition. First time I ever did something like this to where, when I did the rehearsals, there was just me and the stage manager. And I walked around the stage during the day, obviously, and went, okay, it's from 0 to whatever, 1 to 12 on stage right. 0 to 12 on stage left. On this line, you're going to stand on number 1. On this line, you're going to stand on number 12. And she went through the whole script of saying where I need to stand on the freaking numbers. Never did that before. You rehearse everything. No. So I went through, did that, did all that shit. And it kind of broke me out of my shell when I did that. People saw that I was able to do that in theater. Then I did Little Shop of Horrors as well.
Right.
Then I, Dancing with the Stars before that. It really kind of, was it after that? I think it was after that.
Yeah, it was after that. But I don't think people understand. Broadway musical theater, Broadway actor.
Not easy.
It is. I mean,
some of them are freaking features.
Right. And you were doing, look, you were doing the Beetlejuice show 5 times a day, whatever, when you were.
But that's what helped me, yeah.
Right. And people do not realize that Broadway musical theater people are otherworldly. The amount of talent and the fucking understudies who know 6 parts and are like, come in, you're doing John.
Forget about the lead, yeah.
Yeah. People don't understand how fucking much work that is.
You look like what? Sutton Foster. You look at Billy Porter. You look at Alex
Christine
Brightman,
Ebersol. I mean, there's so many. Yeah,
and oh wait, speaking of which, more kids from Dr. Phillips. James Michael Scott, who plays the genie now in Aladdin.
Yeah,
he went to Dr. Phillips. There's another man that's actually oh God, now I can't think of his damn name, and he got nominated for Best Supporting Role, and it'll come to me in a little bit. But he's another dude that's huge, tap dance, good-looking dude. Tony, oh God, what the hell's his name? Holy shit, Tony something. Anyway, great, whatever. But he went to Dr. Phillips as well.
Yeah, it's just, all right. So, but that probably, so going from like 500,000 people watching you perform to sitting in a room with theater direct, like 5 people behind a table going,
I love it. I love it.
It must, and it's like a whole fucking different, yeah, I bet.
Oh, no, one time I almost shit my pants. It wasn't that long. It was actually after I even did Broadway, a few things. I actually did 42nd Street in Pittsburgh. I did The Producers. I was Franz Limpkin in Pittsburgh. Then I go back to do an audition for Bullets Over Broadway.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I'm seeing this. And here's the audition. I go to start to sing. He looks up. Woody Allen looks up. I start singing. He goes, okay, he puts his head back down. So I was like, I'm auditioning for fucking this guy. And I'm like, shitting myself right now. I was like, it was weird. It's one of those surreal moments. A lot of those kind of things.
Yeah.
So surreal. But again, you got to have the chops. You have the balls.
Yeah. And don't you think that kind of saved you, that going, saying, I want to do Broadway?
I think so. I think a lot of things saved me. I think, you know what, even with me and Joe, my manager, we really talk and have conversation of what's a good look, or what's the next platform that's going to catapult me to something else. Maybe not jump to something else drastically,
right?
Because usually, work leads to work. You're always doing something where one goes to another. By doing Broadway and doing Little Shop, I don't think I would have ever got the call to go do, the summer stock of Producers or 42nd Street.
Right.
Would have never thought I've ever been on in the freaking musical 42nd Street in my life.
And the camaraderie, when you're in a Broadway show, like, people don't realize, it's like you're so fucking close to those people.
Oh yeah, you gel with them very quick. You live and breathe. You live and breathe, and you're in, especially with those, the summer stock ones are out of control. I don't understand how they do it. Like, especially when we're talking about the understudies, but also the dancers.
Right.
In the summer stock, they learn about 5 or 6 productions in the summer.
Yeah.
And you only do the production for 2 weeks. You rehearse 1 week. You learn the whole show in 1 week, and then you're up for 2 weeks, and then the next show takes over.
Right.
So
it's amazing.
So when I did Producers, I was rehearsing the 1 week. When the curtain went up the first night, the next day they were rehearsing for Hairspray. And Drew Lachey actually was coming in to be Corny Collins for Hairspray, which was fun. Again, all these different people coming in, but it was the rehearsals just unbelievably fast. Right. It's crazy.
So you have grown, you went into Broadway.
More ways than one.
Yeah, baby. And you're into the food, and we did
Dogs.
the Chopped, which was fucking cheating. Fuck that Chopped. Let me tell you something.
They told me not to make ice cream. Layla
I know that is okay. Listen, here's the fucking problem with the Celebrity Chopped. First of all, Layla was like in it to win it. It was, and she was so tough with her knives and everything. I was like, all right, whatever. I have knives. I can get someone to go get them.
See, we did Dance with the Stars together. I knew that was all bullshit. She's just trying to psych people out. I was like, whatever. You don't scare me.
Shit. So I just can't believe. I mean, my chicken was really good, and then I'm not into plating, okay? I'm sorry, Johnny Weir put a flower on this fucking plate, and he wins.
Well, you saw what I did. I did one where I chopped all the shit up and threw it everywhere and put balsamic glaze on it, and it looked like an explosion of shit on the plate.
Yeah, but they fucking loved you. And I would have made matzah brie on the second one. No one knew what to do with the fucking matzah.
No, I didn't have a clue. I thought about it, trust me. And I was like, I don't know what the fuck to do with this.
I know. That's how I know they thought I was going to win, because they put the matzah in, motherfuckers. Or just a fucking whatever.
This week's episode of It's Judy Show with Judy Gold is sponsored by BetterHelp. And if you know me, which I think you do because you're listening to my podcast right now, you know that I am a big advocate for therapy. I think it benefits everyone. I think there's so many people who need it, who don't partake. It is so important for your emotional health and well-being. Therapy is fantastic. It is in every stretch of the imagination. And if you're thinking of starting therapy, please do it. But please give BetterHelp a try. It is entirely online. It's designed to be convenient. It's flexible. It suits your schedule. You fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. I have switched therapists in my life. I've had many, many therapists, and you know, sometimes it's not a great fit for you, but don't give up. Therapy is beneficial. You can learn about yourself, you can process, and just be emotionally healthy. I'm telling you, do it. BetterHelp is great because, you know, when I used to schlep to my therapist's office, it was so annoying. You have to do it, and you sit there and you wait, and then I'm telling you, doing it online is fantastic. And BetterHelp is amazing. I know a lot of people who've used it. So if you're thinking about therapy, go to BetterHelp.com. Let the gratitude flow. This is Gratitude Month, people. So you need to let the gratitude flow with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/JudyGold, JudyGold, today, and you will get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/JudyGold. You're welcome.
Do you ever get jealous of any of the other guys in the...
No, not really. You know what? I not to say that I would get jealous, but like, oh shit, that would have been cool to work with some of these people. Like Justin got to work with a few other people that we haven't worked with, but I don't think I've ever been like, oh my God, I'm so envious. Holy cow, I can't believe you have to do that. You know, because believe it or not, a lot of the things that he's done in general, we've done.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And it's also, you have had such, like, look at your fucking career.
And that's my thing, I'd rather be number two, because I will stay at number two until the day I die.
Exactly.
Because if you're number one, there's only one place to go, is down.
Preach, sister!
I will be fucking number two all day long.
But
I don't care.
All right, for now, you've gone from like, you know, boy band, Broadway,
movie,
film, and now you're like
some TV
the go-to host. You're the go-to host for everything.
Yep. Hosting Game Show Network now, yeah.
I know, it's fucking great. And if you don't put me on one of those fucking shows, I'm gonna call you.
Yeah, definitely. We'll do it. I'm waiting for when we fucking do a celebrity one though too. I mean, I want you
better. And don't go through Joe, your fucking manager, who doesn't fucking give you the Zoom information for our fucking podcast. Fuck you, Joe. Hate you. How are the kids too? So you're a dad?
My older one is now second year in college. She's
Where's she going?
She's got an apartment now, which is freaking weird.
Don't you feel old?
Yeah, it's weird because people even look at me. They're like, yeah, well, how old are you kid? I'm like 19. They're like 19. I'm like, yeah. I had her when I was 23. Yeah. And then I had the other one who's 10.
Right.
So same ex-wife, same kid, same mother, but just a 10-year gap, which I kind of liked. Believe it or not.
Yeah, that's not bad. And you're probably a different person within those 10 years.
Yeah, well, I don't have as much patience as I maybe did last time, but I do thank the Lord. I mean, again, for now, I spent a lot more time with them, of course, with the COVID, but even prior to, like, I know my first child, I was touring. I was on the road. So she was coming out on tour every once in a while. And then my little one, Chloe, I actually did definitely spend a lot more time with her. I mean, again, I was home. And even my old, like, wow, you spend more time with her. I was like, yeah, because I wasn't working. You like the college you're going to? You like the house?
You shut the fuck up
and get A's. That's all.
Right. And you have a good relationship with your ex.
Yeah. No, we're good now.
Isn't divorce really good though? Isn't it divorce really? It's hard, but
it's one of those things when you're not gelling together after a while and you're really trying and you're just in a rut or you're really just content and it doesn't make you happy. And, I think both of us were kind of a little, it's like one of those things. And don't get me wrong, I wasn't the Miss Goody Two-Shoes all the time, but, you have your ups and downs and shit that happens. But I think for us, really having conversations and really at first it was kind of that angry breakup at first.
Oh, please. I know.
Like 5 years now we've been separated. So, and again, we're really, I think the one thing about it is for both of us is we made sure that, of course, our kids come priority first.
That's right. That is the most important thing.
Yeah, we don't argue. We didn't bullshit about stuff sometimes, and we try not to, obviously, in front of them and things like that. But, my little one really doesn't know any better of how we were except just separated. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
She was so
Same
young
with my little one.
It's okay. My older one was a little more apprehensive, where it was like, when I had my girlfriend and stuff, it was like, well, that's weird that she's sleeping in the same room as where mom used to, in the same room, not in the same house, but the same room. It was awkward for her. Right. So it took a minute to really kind of, okay, daddy has a girlfriend, or, dad's going to have a girlfriend. It's going to happen. Mom's going to have a boyfriend,
Right.
And it's okay. And we all, for me, it's like I get along. I would get along with the guy. I haven't seen her date anybody yet.
Right.
She'd be keeping
Who can follow you, Joseph?
Nobody. Nobody.
So what's next for you? I mean, has it been shitty during COVID?
No, you know what? For me, again, just like anything, I think with a lot of artists and celebrities, in a sense, we always travel and work a lot. So especially for me, since I don't live in California and that's where a lot of my work is, to be home was great because
I know. I'm telling you.
I drove my kid to school in the morning, every morning now for the week. And then my ex gets her next week. So every other week I get my kid. Again, my other one's already in college, so I'm going to worry about her ass.
Right.
So about the little one. And I take her, and it's I think it was great. I've been doing a show that you were on called What Does Joey Know? Just some random we decided to come up with. But I'm still waiting. I did sign 2 deals already. We're just waiting for next year to do Common Knowledge, which we're shooting 65 episodes. And then I'm still doing stuff with Practical Jokers, where we still have to shoot the after party show that I host.
Right. I love that. I just did their podcast. That was really fun.
Oh, they're great.
They're great. And Common Knowledge, such a fucking good idea that I can't believe I didn't think of it.
And I was just like, brilliant. It's just freaking common sense and common knowledge.
Right. And you shot a whole shitload of those.
We did already. I think a little bit over 200 now, I think. But we just did the last season. We shot 130 in 4.5 weeks.
Wow.
You shoot 6. Again, that's where the repetition comes into play, where, same opening lines and the same things, but you got to make them exciting and fresh.
Right. As if you've never, because the audience, I know. The audience is, you have to always realize the audience, it's the first time they're hearing it,
Never really hearing it. There's always somebody new that's never heard it or never. Got to make it like the first shot.
Okay. I have just a couple more questions. Number one, what about politics? Do you try to stay out of it?
Stay out of it. I don't even know what to believe half the time anymore.
Right.
I asked them my elbow in politics.
Right.
I couldn't even tell you, and I try to stay out of it as much as I can because it's just like such a vicious cycle of everything.
It is so. It's so.
I don't know what the fuck's right.
I've never felt like so much. I mean, people are just stressed and mean. They're mean. People are mean.
I honestly don't even know really who to vote for because I don't want to vote for anybody.
Okay, here's who you're not voting for. Trump, you are not voting for him. No, N-O. Please don't. You can't. Okay. Anyway, I want to fucking kill you now. I want to come over there and all right.
See? But just as I say one thing, exactly it.
You can't. He's just horrible. He is the most horrible human being in the world. Okay.
There's a lot of negativity that he has. I will definitely.
Yeah. Thank you, Joseph. Thank you.
I will.
Okay, so here are 2 things I always ask my guests.
Okay.
Number 1, mental health. We're very into mental health. What do you do to stay mentally healthy?
I beat it up like it owes me money.
Really? So the porn.
I don't have anxiety. I know
you don't?
I don't stress out a lot about shit.
I hate you. I'm so jealous.
It's weird. Like I said, I really don't stress out about a lot of things. Very little things do I stress out about. And if shit, and I start to realize, you know what? Life's too short. People are freaking have time crunches for no freaking reason on certain things. Slow the fuck down. We're not in a rush. The world's not in a rush to get a contract signed because you need it done by today because we need to know second. After a while, as you get older, you go, okay, pump the brakes. Let's look at everything. Let's take a fucking break on shit. Let's seriously just sit back, look at stuff. And I don't, like, for instance, when the pandemic hit, people were like, oh my God, I have so much time on my hands. I'm going to clean everything. And I was like, I ain't doing shit. I'm like, what do you mean? I said, I'm going to organize, but I'm going to do a drawer maybe that day. Maybe I'll do a dresser another day. Maybe I'm going to do my kitchen. I'm going to reorganize that kitchen, but I'll do one fucking cabinet on a Friday and do another one on a Monday. There's no rush in that. And I guess what? We're still here. Pandemic's still happening. And my shit is all organized and clean.
Okay, well, that's great for you because you're emotionally healthy. I'm a neurotic, and I still haven't fucking cleaned half the shit I want to clean. Yeah, I can't. I have no organization in my head. I have no executive function. If someone opened a closet and said, like, organize this, I'd fucking start crying. I hate it.
I walk around, but that's the thing, too. I'll walk around one room, I'll start picking up. I'll go in another room, I'll start picking up shit, and I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't even finish the other one.
Right. ADD.
That will happen to me, though. That I will do. That's an ADD kind of move. But I don't stress out about it, though.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get that, man. I don't know. I again, probably.
Okay, but a lot of it is just not. It's not voluntary. I mean, it's involuntary.
Correct. True. Your mind just goes, and you can't help it. No, I get it.
It just doesn't shut the fuck up.
Yep.
Okay. Here's my other question.
So my mental health is pretty good so far. Thank God.
What? The podcast is called "Kill Me Now" because I get aggravated about everything. What pisses you off more than anything, like makes you fucking crazy, like you can't?
Just bullshit. Or another thing that really pisses me off, if you text me with a question and I respond back and I ask you a question and you don't respond within another 2 hours or 3 hours go by, I want to fucking punch somebody in the face. You're the person you're the one that asked me the question. That drives me freaking nuts.
You know what fucking pisses me off? Someone will start texting with you, and then you'll answer, and then they just stop, and then it's like you don't end it. I end it.
Or just say, hey, I'm busy. Sorry, something.
Right. Like who gets the power to end the conversation?
Me.
Right. Fucking tell me. I want the last one. I hate not knowing when to stop. It's like
because but that's my point. I'll keep going.
Right.
Or if they don't answer, I'm like, oh, cool. That's funny. What else? Oh, that's great.
Yeah. I know. I do the same thing. It's fucking mental.
That pisses me off. Yeah. People that are full of shit, people that don't deliver, and people that don't text back.
I hate. Oh well, no. Then you'll get mad at me if I say it. Like people.
I won't get mad at you. I don't care. Say whatever you want to say.
Like people who have like a job and they're like, don't do it. Like your fucking manager not giving you the Zoom information.
Oh no, he called me back. He goes, and the minute he called too, I looked up. I was like, dude, I was about to do a fucking video, and I go, Judy Gold. He's like, yeah. I was like, fuck. So yeah,
good. He's a fucking. I know it's not you because you're perfect.
But I'll blame him too. No, it's my part too.
All right.
Usually I'm pretty good at remembering shit, and I remembered it, but I didn't.
No, he is too bad.
Oh yeah, don't worry. You can tell.
I'm done with him. I cannot. This was so fun.
No, I appreciate it. You kidding me?
And where's your hot dog stand so everyone can go see?
It's in Orlando. Depending on where we are, if you go to OrlandoFatOnes.com, you can see and find out exactly where we are in locations because we are still working very slowly because of everything that's going on. But we are working. But I hopefully will have. I used to have a hot dog place in the Florida Mall, which is obviously in a mall, it's a kiosk. But I want to do like a freestanding place. But I just haven't had. Again, I want to be sure that I'm there or have the time and stuff like that. I don't just want to slap my name and go, hey, look at me, I own weenies. No, it's not me.
What kind of beef is in the hot dog? Is it beef
it's
or beef and pork?
100% Angus beef we use a lot of times. They're all beef hot dogs. All beef.
Yeah, baby!
Yeah, all beef. We don't
mustard.
Mustard. Well, we do a whole bunch of things. I want to bring them back. We used to do ones called the Reuben and the Cuban. We used to butterfly the hot dog and press it. And we used to have like, obviously for the Cuban, it was like the pickle, the mustard, the sauerkraut, the island dressing, and you pressed it. And the same thing with the Cuban, where we did the meat was actually the hot dog. Then we had a one called, what was it? A pizza one, where it was mozzarella cheese, pepperoni on a hot dog, and it was pressed.
Oh, my God.
We had a whole bunch of fun shit.
Oh, God, I want that fucking Reuben one.
Definitely.
Where can everyone find you, Joseph?
Real Joey Fatone, at Real Joey Fatone on Instagram and Twitter. It's all the same, at Real Joey. Those are the fake one.
Right. And can you please fucking follow me? Like, you act like you're so cool.
You gotta fucking follow you. What is yours, though? Is it just Judy Gold or is it something else?
It's JEWDYGOL.
That's fucking why. And I love that. J-E. Yay!
You are I love you. I can't wait to see you and hug you.
Definitely, 100%.
Only good things for you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening to part 2 of Kill Me Now with Joey Fatone. Come on, that was a good get, wasn't it? If you like the show, make sure to subscribe and leave a review. It helps more people find this incredibly amazing podcast. 5 stars only, please. That's 5 stars only. Also, look, if you haven't purchased my book and you're a listener of my Kill Me Now podcast, there's something wrong with you. You need to purchase my book. Yes, I can say that. When They Come for the Comedians, We're All in Trouble. Okay, it's great. The audiobook was featured in New and Noteworthy in the New York Times Book Review. But who cares? My parents are dead. So listen, please get my book. I'm really proud of it. You will love it. You will love it. I'm going to read you here's one. From Douglas W. Oh, see, I don't even know who it is. This is an Amazon review, 5 stars, funny, insightful, and thought-provoking. A really good read about where our First Amendment rights stand at this point in history as told through the lens of comedy. Come on, people. What are you doing? So order it now. And if you go to my website, judygold.com, there's all these order links on the homepage. Or you can get it wherever books are sold. Just get it. God damn it. Also, make sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram for all upcoming virtual shows, live events. That was funny, wasn't it? All dates, anything I'm doing. You can check it out at my website or on my Twitter and my Instagram, which my name is at Judy Gold. That's JEWDYGOLD, like Jew Gold. Thank you so much for listening. Stay well, wear a mask, vote, vote, vote. Just once. Just vote once, but just fucking vote. And as we always say, so long.
And everything was wonderful. I'll see you soon. Thank you for the visit. So long.